All right, everyone, welcome back. Apologies, had to get the sound unmuted there. You wouldn't be able to hear the beautiful Wolfie once he starts speaking. If you weren't with us on map one anyway, Winstrike able to get the win in the end over Singularity, but it was a close one. It was back and forth. There was moments where it did seem like Singularity were going to be able to maybe even steal away Winstrike's map pick. Obviously, though, fallen short in the end. And now we've got Nuke, a map that we haven't seen a lot of from Singularity, but it is where they've actually found one of their only map wins throughout this season so far, when they were able to take down Vizsla. So there's definitely some hope there, but what are you thinking, Wolfie?
Yeah, you want to sell it. You want to make the storyline right. You want to believe that Singularity can take this to a third map because they did look so damn good on Mirage. They look like a team who shouldn't be 1-6 in the season. They look like those mid-table teams, those scrappy fighters who can make the upset wins happen. But again, just struggling to get it over the line. And that, I think, has been their problem. And it's probably going to be their problem here on Nuke as well, right? They had their opportunities, they had their chances to shut the whole thing down. And if they can't take them on Mirage, I mean, Nuke is so much tougher to really get your foot in the door like that and to bring that momentum back. Starting T side as well, it's not a good look for me for Singularity. I'm hoping they've got something a little bit special on their map pick. Otherwise, they could be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, they're really going to need it. And obviously, the thing is here, with it being Singularity's map choice, Winstrike, they're able to go ahead and take themselves that CT start. We're actually seeing dual Berettas coming out. No kiss, surprisingly. I think that was the dual Berettas were
Okay.
dropped over by Forrester, and he went with a nade. So yeah, this is an interesting setup for the CT pistol round. Not a lot of nades either for Singularity, though. Just the one molly, which they threw at the door initially. And then they're going to go ahead and try and take this outside control, dropping off a silo, dropping down in through Secret now as well. And that 1-for-1 trade is a pretty good result off the back of that, as well as dinking up Forrester. As I say that, though, Nickelback's going to go ahead and snatch up one, and, well, he wanted a bit more and will be punished for it.
Julie's recovered by Noten. In towards those vents as well. Up close and personal, the extra bullets can do so much work for you. A bomb site looking pretty wide open for the plant. CTs were pretty sure it was going to be down here. Forrester just 4 HP. He's going to try and dunk a nade onto the planter. It just explodes too high, though. With just 4 health to work with, he's really stuck between a rock and a hard place. It's going to be onto Lackey and Elian to make this retake hit. And well, they haven't got the kit, so they've got to get a move on pretty much immediately. Noten spotted out Iceberg. This is the perfect spot. Should be a guaranteed kill, and it is. Lackey goes down. Elian now the next one to face the might of it. Noten gets his frag with the Julies, and yeah, Elian, he's 1v3. He's got no kit to work with. He's just looking for whatever he can find. He'll get the frag onto Iceberg, but at this point, save that armor, my friend. The round is done. T-side off to the best possible start for Singularity. A chance to take some of that momentum away. Well, Winstrike punished ever so slightly for picking up the Julies instead of a defuse kit.
Still an interesting choice. I mean, Notan's happy with it because he gets to carry them over into this round. I'm not sure how much more use they're going to get, though. But yeah, obviously coming through pretty big for them there in the pistol round anyways. Yeah, a bit scrappy initially. I mean, there was the pick on the first player even coming over to Silo. They were able to stop the one player, I think, who was trying to lurk around the lobby as well, stop him from pushing out at least. It was once that secret and lower control started to come in, once the trade came in towards Forrester with the dual Berettas, things that, or rather Elian with the dual Berettas, things just kind of started to crumble. And we're seeing a very heavy buy-in towards the rifles here, but it's a good mix. They've got the one Mac 10 as well, so that they have the nades behind that, a couple of Galils also. So it's a pretty safe buy at this point from Singularity, not really wanting to let anything go, and at the moment taking a pretty slow approach to the round as well. Eventually peeking in there and finding Forrester. They had already cleared out the CT vent with a molly, I believe, so they knew that they could kind of afford to take that peek. And Remai, his timing there, I believe, as he left ramp was a little bit awkward. I'm pretty sure Lackey was pushing up.
Does look like they've got the
Yeah.
information for this lobby crunch, doesn't it? They've got the presence there, and Noten on the ladder, just playing the information, maybe a little bit of spam on that Mac 10. Larson's taken the tag of the scout as well, so by no means a done deal. Lackey takes the information. Outside control will be pushed for. Elian on the headshot angle, maybe going to try and contest, maybe going to see if he can find just a tag any damage at all on this push down in towards Secret. Nothing. Nobody spotted in transition. And at the moment, Winstrike have got absolutely no presence down on B. Start to clear their way through the halls. Singularity should at any moment now start to smell a rat, realize that the B bomb site completely open. I don't know if Winstrike really go for it at that point. The explosion into B will come through. Lackey will start to crunch in towards lobby with Crad there to back him up. They spot the leg of Noten, but not quite able to find the connection they were after. Time low for Singularity, but they will get that bomb down regardless. And now Winstrike with the decision to make. No defuse kit. Fair few players with some decent firepower on them. And I think the decision is just to try and hold on to what they've got. Maybe take that Mac-10 away. And indeed, Noten will go down. So a frag, an SMG recovered, but that B-site retake never really going to be a viable option for the CT side. So happy to keep what they've got into the next, gives them a little more than they would have had. If they commit, of course, it's the full eco, so absolutely nothing. Instead, there's armor, there's scouts, potential to take a couple of rifles away and do some damage. But Singularity, second round is all but assured, and they're going to be able to keep up 4 rifles as well.
Yeah, good result for Singularity. I think Winstrike are probably going to be relatively happy that they're at least able to save over everything that they brought into that round, basically, apart from onto Forrester. So they've still got a chance to do the damage here. It's a nice Deagle skin that Nickelback has. I don't think I've ever seen that one before. Haven't been following the skins as much over the past few years. But yeah, as you said, the rifles all retained over. I think they bought up a... Was that another Galil they brought out? Or was it another AK?
I want to say AK. I think they had 3 Galils, so...
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, they did. You're right, because they had the 1 AK and then the 1 Mac-10 onto Notan as well in the previous. So, yeah, it is going to be the extra AK that has come out. Leaves them in a position where these weapons would still be really viable even in the following round. So if they can get another 5-man surviving round, that would be brilliant. But Iceberg, he's taking a little bit of damage there. Down to 7. Slowly thawing out. We'll see whether he's going to be finished off by Nickelback or not, because he does have a couple of teammates here to help. So he's just not really showing himself. And they have forced Nickelback back out of position, but, I mean, he slowed them down massively on outside, and I was going to say it given them even a flank up through Secret, but Iceberg is able to punish that despite the low health, so it's going to be now Singularity moving down towards that lower half of the map. And I don't know if we really have anyone prepped at the moment to try and hold on to it for Winstrike.
This is going to be the problem again, that B-bomb site. There's a tag onto Iceberg. And again, Winstrike have got to make a call, right? The armor saved into the next round with the rifles behind it would be good. I don't see any point in Forrester saving at the very least. He should be trying to see what he can get on that Deagle. Maybe find a frag somewhere on this server. But Singularity, they're going to get the clean 3-0. And if Forrester doesn't find anything, they're more than likely to keep 5 players alive. Indeed, Remo is able to take him down. This is the problem. Clean 3-0. Economy starting to really flourish for Singularity. Winstrike firmly on the back foot. They'll save these 3 sets of armor. Elian will have a decision to make. He's on the scout at the moment. He does have enough money to upgrade to the AWP if he wants to. And it looks like he's going to go for it as well. Yeah, they are going to drop that scout. Yeah, there you go. That's just going to end up on the floor. Rifles for the teammates. Crag? There we go. Come on, Jack. Crad. There we go. It's just a name that confuses me so much. It sounds like a cartoon villain from the 90s, but...
Crag.
He's going to be on the scoped AUG. Utility, again, a little slim, and they do dump a lot of it early. Trying to make sure that Singularity can't pull a fast one, go for a straight hit into that A-bomb site with flashes over the top early. It means that they run out of mollies pretty much immediately. Forrester and Nickelback holding the last 2. Outside control taken, this time without the smokes. A couple were thrown, but they're just going to loop around. The timing's good, though. Nickelback 2, 3 on the spray down from Mini, and he's still yet to be traded. Finally, Remoy deals with him, but up close and personal, Crad will find the trade. That is not how that round was meant to go. Nickelback caught the ultimate timing. The first player to swing had his back to him. The second was too slow to trade things out. And, well, the third, you have to say, should have got him, but Noten will be left to try and see what he can find. I mean, you can look at the finances on the right-hand side of the screen. This is going to be a buy into the next round from Singularity regardless. Honestly, I think Noten goes for damage at this point. Winstrike's economy in a very awkward spot, a very tight corner. So if he can take a rifle or 2 away, then he makes this next round so much more viable for his team. Toying with the idea in towards Squeak. Might get his chance. Crad almost swings into the peak, but bails out at the last possible moment. 25 seconds left. Noten might want to consider dying here as well, trying to take some kind of peek. Indeed, he does, and it's very nearly awkward for Elian. You could see him scrambling to get his scope where he wanted it. Manages to get it across the line, though. 4 players kept up for the CT side. And an opportunity in this round to put some of that pressure back onto Singularity if they can take it cleanly.
Yeah, cleanly is one of the important words there, though, because you don't want to be keeping your economy in a fragile position here on the CT side of Nuke, especially. It's not quite as CT-sided as things used to be, especially when the T's can get going early on, when they can keep your economy always kind of on the rocks. So we'll see what is the what the plan is rather here into this round for Singularity, as all of their focus is around lobby. They have Larson up on top of the roof, I think, ready to molly in towards A. It doesn't necessarily mean the upper side commitment's coming in, but it is looking pretty likely. And I think they might even find Krad at the moment pushing up through the door. Is that open? Yeah, he's actually gone ahead and pushed through. Doesn't expect the other players in the background, though. So SMF is there to cover his teammate off. And, well, with that a man advantage, they don't really need to have that straight-up commitment anymore. And I think they spotted the second player rotate into A from main, so they're going to go ahead and move back towards ramp now.
Awkward headshot angle for Lackey to deal with. Can't find the connection. Has to fall down into the B-bomb site. Aggression just a little too much from Krad. Trying to get some information. Trying to get something going for his team. Instead gives his life away and gives Singularity a route into this round. They are short on util. Handful of pop flashes to try and get themselves in. The same can be said of Winstrike. They're going to need somebody to step up in this round, the CT side. A big multi-kill is all but required. Singularity are making it very difficult for them to find that. Slowing things down to a crawl. Elian has committed to the rotation. Double doors are open, and the swing peak will go into his crosshairs. First pick found, needs a lot more and gets it. Second comes through a teammate. Lackey's there to back his AWPer up, and the flick is good from Elian. CT side really starting to dial it in now. It's Noten left in the 1-on-4. He's managed to isolate the AWP and will find the frag. Quickly traded down, however, and there should be a player. Yeah, Lackey will make his way into control room, grabs it with milliseconds to spare. So Winstrike, it's not clean, it's not pretty, but they do get it on the board. They do keep 3 players alive, and now they've got an opportunity to come up against what's probably going to be a half buy. There's a few players who can pick up some armor behind the Deagles, a few who can't. Yeah, a few digs across the board, little bits and pieces of a buy, but it should be around that Winstrike can clean up.
What a hold from Alien right there, though. It looked like it might have even been the collateral or even the 3-man collaterals. They were all coming out ramp. Managed to just hit shot after shot, and, well, wants to keep it going in this round also. And that's what you need. We said they want to be building up the economy at this point, so a clean round here just against the Deagles would be a perfect find. Also, of course, would tie things up at 3-3. But there is still a chance. I mean, Deagles, we know how dangerous they can be in the hands of pretty much anyone. But it's not going too well at the moment. Larson gets picked off indoor as well. It's just kind of individual fights right now that are being given over, and with the Ops and the Augs being the ones pretty much taking those challenges at range, they're not going to struggle.
Already a couple of picks found. Elian keen to get himself warmed up on the AWP and seems to be doing so to good effect. Noten will finally deal with him, though. And the CT side do just need to be a little bit cautious, as you said. Don't want to be giving away the likes of the AWPs. Nickelback cleans things up, though. And Remoy left in the 1-on-4, sat inside a smoke, hoping to catch a timing onto somebody. Got to imagine Nickelback will grab the AWP as the round calms down, and indeed he will. Remoy's going to shoulder swing in, and Lackey will deal with him. A little bit cleaner than the previous 4 players this time kept up for Winstrike. AWP again saved over. Elian 9-2 really feels like he's starting to hit a little bit of a vein of form, and that's not what you want from your opposition AWPers on a map like Nuke. Plenty of opportunities for him to exploit it. The Singularity, they will have the buy again. AKs across the board, no AWP to counter, but good utility.
Oh, tiny bit of team damage there. I don't think it'll make too much of a difference. Forrester just taking a USP to the heel. Thankfully, movement not going to be impacted. But yeah, Cross already coming in towards Secret. They should be aware of this. Yeah, they've actually rotated Alien down on the op, but he's not going to be given any room to back off. So yeah, missing a shot immediately does cost them his life. Larson with an upgrade onto the AWP, and a double swing then to take out Lackey, who is holding from the ramp. So this is the bomb going down on B. And I mean, it's been a few rounds in a row for Winstrike, but they haven't built up that amazing of an economy. You have Forrester and Nickelback who are fine, sure. Lackey could fight for himself as well in this next round, but Krad and Elian could not. So I think the save is necessary, and you can see already they aren't budging at all from their current positions. And where they are, which is Forrester and Nickelback, they're moving further away, heading back towards that spawn. Is there a player up on the roof?
I think that is, yeah. Oh, gets the double as well. rubbing salt in the wounds. Crad needs to deal with this man, needs to take him out of the equation. Otherwise, he's going to get hunted down as the clock runs low. He's going to sit right underneath him. We'll find at least that frag. But as you said, there's a couple of players who can't buy for themselves. So this one could get awkward as the clock goes low. Alien can't buy for himself. Forrester can drop him if they want to go towards maybe either an AWP and an SMG or just go towards those two rifles. So that's going to be the call to make. Looks like it is going to be the AWP, and Forrester's going to take the sacrifice. They managed to make it work. I'm not quite sure exactly how they did it, but they do get it spread out across the board. Nice change of pace from Singularity, though. They played pretty slowly so far. That time just upping it as soon as they get down in towards Secret, as soon as they get towards that B-bomb site, piling the pressure on. Nice pop flash. Nickelback under pressure, but his team's flashes are good, and he gets two. Wasn't the man he was aiming for, but he takes out the man behind SMF, and good damage through the smoke onto him as well. Man advantage found for the CT side. Noten will recover the AWP, pick up the secondary duties. And again, it's going to be down towards these B halls they head. Remoy, SMF ahead of him. Good control gained, and CT's not really anywhere to be found. They've got one man rotating in through the ramp, and that's going to be Elian. They'll need at least one pick on the cross to really make this retake viable, because again, CT side not in a great spot. Elian's actually going to start to push out here. Try and take some control back over towards that B-bomb side, but Singularity cutting all noise, giving no information away, and with that lack of a man advantage, can't really afford to commit to anything on the Winstrike front. They've just got to sit back, let this hit come to them. Elian might be caught by a very unfortunate timing here. He's thinking about peeking into control. Noten is toying with it as well. Swing comes in, the shoulder peek baits the shot. That should be the information they need. Lackey will start to dive his way down. And this B-bomb site plant will look to come through. The M4 straight through the smoke in front of the molly, and it's going to time out perfectly for him. He can't get the spray under control. Remoy on 16 HP, switches to the AWP, stays alive, and that's the critical thing. Elian looking the wrong way. SMF gets a gift. There's damage on the board to work with, but if Remoy can find this frag, it should be done, and indeed he will. Forrester into the one-on-one. Up against that AWP. They should know he's low. He's got a Molotov. He's got a smoke. Indeed, he drops that molly. Smoke goes onto the bomb. Needs to clear these angles. That bomb's ticking down. He's got a defuse kit to work with. He's going to make his way over to the bomb. Taps it. Sticks it. And now this is all about the call. Remoy opens the doors once. Baits him off the bomb. Spam through. Not going to connect initially, but he spots him. The smoke doesn't quite land well enough. It will be Singularity with their fifth. And that will break Winstrike as well. Their CT side is really not clicking at the moment.
No, it looked like it was for a few rounds, and again, they had a decent position there in that round, but it just pulled back. Some insane shots being connected, some weird plays coming through from Winstrike, as you said. Alien was just caught looking the other direction. I think maybe I'd heard like a flash being popped or something, but either way, that seemed like it was Winstrike's round to win in the retake with the health that both remaining players had for Singularity. But no, well played by Remoy, able to bring them over the line, and well, has put them in a position where they're pretty much 100% going to have a half they could be happy with. The sixth round should be available here, with really not much money at all for Winstrike. A few upgraded pistols maybe to come in on Forrester and Nickelback. Alien is going to want to keep as much of his money as he can towards an AWP, which, well, now he spent a little bit of it on a Deagle. 2,400 is all they get in the next round as well, so it's not really ideal. He wouldn't quite have enough for the op unless he's able to get at least one kill here with the Deagle to confirm a glass cannon one even. So I don't even know if that's what he'd want. So yeah, Singularity are on track to a decent half here already on the T side. Did they hear Forrester, I think, jumping up close?
Yeah, I think they did. Noten's going to clear it. He's going to find the frag as well. One of those upgraded pistols already lost, and well, you spoke about Noten showing up, right? Double kill. Yes, it's against the ecos, but it's clean. Opens things up, makes it so difficult for these three remaining players to really get anything done. Crad, top of the hut, just the default USP to work with. The flank will get one. Lackey, a very nice shot indeed to make it work. A dink comes through onto Iceberg as well, but just overwhelming numbers for that T side. And Elian, as you said, needs at least a frag to even warrant the glass cannon AWP into the next, even to get him that sort of situation, and he's not going to be allowed it. Larson denies. 4 players kept up. That's not how you wanted it to go down if you are a fan of Winstrike. They're going to be buying, and it will be the rifles. He dropped a teammate, a 4A1. How have they got an AWP in this server? Who's bought it? It's Nickelback dropped it, yeah. I mean, they're feeding it to him, and all credit to them. He's been popping off with it when he's had it in his hands. They do need somebody to start stepping up because Singularity is starting to run away with things just a little bit here. Early utility will come in again. Heavy focus around this ramp control. Krad's really been abused in towards the squeaky door, and they're looking to continue it. Nice pot flash. They're getting proactive. Lackey opens things up. The sprays are good. The man advantage is found, and now Singularity, for the first time in a while, have got to try and pick up the pieces.
This was necessary. There was no kit. There was very few nades for Winstrike, so to be able to find these early exchanges in their favor, absolutely huge. And I think they've heard both of those players now in towards lobby. At least the op was heard. I'm not 100% sure that the second player is also here, but we'll see what the... Oh, Krad actually pushed through the smoke. I thought he was just sitting on the other side of it. SMF had no idea either. Is able to pop out for the trade at least, but now he's walking right into the op of Elian. Posted up on the angle already, and he's been hitting some insane shots, so he's not going to be missing those simple ones. As a fourth round is taken for Winstrike, but I mean, at the end, at least some good damage is done. They're able to keep the pressure on towards Winstrike's economy, but I mean, their own buy here might even be a little bit limited. No, I think they've managed it. SMF was able to be dropped over. It does cost them everything, though. So a chance for Winstrike to win out this round and then probably even tie things back up at 6-6. So it doesn't seem like either team is really able to get control for a prolonged period at the moment. Obviously, that will still favor Singularity. If they grind even one more round out here on the T side, then at that point, I think they're really happy.
2 SMGs on that CT side of things as well. Again, lacking in the nades department. Pressure very much on this CT side to perform. Winstrike were a little slow off the mark on map 1, and they're looking a little awkward here as well. Nice timing from Lackey on the MP9, though, 2 in quick succession. He's down to 11 HP, but he's done his job. Baits another man into the crosshairs. Elian able to connect the shot. Once again, a heavy advantage coming in for Winstrike, a 4-on-2. And both players on opposite corners of the map at this point. Iceberg trying to make his way out. He's got to clear so many angles, though. Might be a timing, potentially. Nickelback does let go of the angle, so he'll get in towards the garage, but look at the flood of pressure to try and take him out. Krad on that UMP is going to start clearing his way through the corners. Doesn't check his angles, goes down, but is traded. That's the critical thing, and now Remoy in towards heaven. Not expected. That's the AWP gone. He's looking for more. The spray runs out of bullets at the last possible second. They really need to recover that AWP, and I don't think they've got time. No, they haven't. It's not going to be affordable into the next. Oh, it is. Nickelback could just about skim it through.
What are they doing?
He's going to go for it. I mean, again, I think they're really relying on Elian just to bring the frags to this game, right? They really are just feeding him that AWP to try and give him the opportunities. It's a big call, especially against these pistol buys. I can see what you were going for. These are the situations where really stick him on an MP9 or something, right?
Yeah,
let him farm his own cash up to finish off the half. And, well, it's going to be P250s and a Deagle to try and pressure. Lackey playing a timing on that smoke. 4 players behind it for him, and they're just going to go straight through this. Pot flash isn't good, but the spray's awkward as well. Does well to get the second. M4 recovered, and potentially a bomb plant over on that B-bomb site as well. There's some timings available. Elian, the only player down there at the moment with that AWP in hand. And Singularity going to slow things right down.
Yeah, considering what they've brought in, I mean, not a bad trade, being able to steal away an M4 now. Maybe that can be utilized to do a bit more damage. And obviously, if they could take away the op, especially from Alien, then at that point things would be pretty difficult going into the next gun round for Winstrike. But I'm sure they'd be happy enough with another rifle or two even being dropped. Looking like they want to move outdoor. I think they had one player stepping back a bit out of lobby there, maybe expecting a bit of a flank could have come in through outside, so just keeping their eye on it, but I think the vent drop is the main goal, and, well, it's not going to be allowed for Remoy. Spam through the smoke by the op. They'll now go ahead and move down that since the spam has already come in. So it will give access to the bomb, but they need to get the 1 kill on the bomb site first, and, well, they can't really even get vision on Forrester. Finds both of them walking out with their sides exposed. So a pretty straightforward round. 1 casualty on Lackey. Not too bad. They can easily drop him back over. Obviously, again, there's not going to be much money being built up by any means because the nades are also being repurchased and, well, kind of just purchased in general because they had a lack of them in that previous round. So there's still a chance for Singularity to win out this one potentially and then have a chance to even go up towards 9. So Winstrike just can't let that happen.
Gotta take control of the situation. Nickelback again. Looking for that aggression outside. This time read by Larson, but the pot flash is inch perfect and he's going to go back for a second bite. The spray is awkward. Still finds the connection. 2 frags in quick succession will finally be traded down by SMF, but that's job done, right? 2 big frags outside. Gets the damage off, takes out the critical player in the AWPer. Allows his teammates to start taking some liberties. Lackey again playing close to the smoke, drops himself a deep Molotov to take a little more control away from this T side. And that whole round has been derailed in an instant. They're going to pick up what smokes they can, see if they can maybe scramble that AWP out of reach. And, well, they're going to catch a timing, actually. Crad goes down, and suddenly they find themselves leveled out at this 3-on-3. CT side with a very distinct lack of information. This push from Lackey is everything, but they don't know Remoy is that aggressive, and Notan's punished. They're going to trade things down. It's 2-on-1 out of nowhere, and Elian, he's dropped. He's got to go down towards that bomb site, but they're trying to play the timing. Bomb actually goes down a little late, and that'll allow Elian to post himself. There's an opportunity, and he misses the shot. Hasn't got much utility to give himself another bite at it. Just the one flashbang, and he's going to push aggressively on this left-hand side. They're shoulder peeking for it. They're trying to bait it out of him, and there's a gap in the smoke to abuse. Singularity getting it over the line despite a huge opening from Nickelback. His teammates just not quite able to back him up. And as you said, that starts to break the CT economy. They haven't got the bank built up to be going back and forth like this, and there's a huge chance Singularity can take 9 at the half.
Yeah, it's very, very possible. I think it's 100% nearly that they take at least 8. This has got to be the eco, right, from Winstrike. Take 1 eco here, try and fight back in and get the 7th round at least, which would then be it wouldn't be great, but it would be okay. You get the pistol in the second half, you can get going, get even a bit of a lead, potentially in your favor at that point. 1 M4 being bought up by Forrester. He did have extra money, but no, they're going to go for it. He's actually going to drop over that, buy up another rifle for himself. Crad can also get an M4 and some probably body armor with a couple of nades. Actually goes for the AUG instead. Slightly limiting his own nades more so than would have been otherwise if he had just gone for the M4, but he's been rocking that scoped weapon, to be fair. Clearly what he wants to use. Alien on the scout. Deagle for Lackey. He gets a few nades at least behind that, but it's all in right now. Lose this one and you have an even worse investment in this following round to try and deny 9 from going the way of Singularity. So it's certainly a risky play, but it could still shift things back in their favor if they win this, and obviously then still give them potentially the 8th round. Oh, and a nice tag.
Gives that Deagle something to work at, right? Iceberg goes down to 30. That's exactly what they need from Elian outside. Couple of tags, some damage just to allow these lesser weapons to start converting. 3 rifles up still makes this round very winnable for Winstrike. It just needs an individual to show. All of a sudden, the round becomes worthwhile. Larson lurking around outside is lucky not to be punished for that jump peek. Elian was there, almost connected the shot as well, but the pressure's going to come in towards B. Molotov to try and buy some time. Noten toying with going through it, takes the tag of the Deagle, goes down low. Now you've got 3 players within that 1-shot range of the Deagle. We all know what it can do in this current meta, and it's going to open things up. First man goes, aggression again on red from Nickelback pays off. And Iceberg still, that early tag becomes an issue. Lackey going to be put under pressure on that B ramp. Needs to get it all done. Can't catch himself a break on the timings. Elian close on the scout. Needs to get out of dodge, but it's actually Remoy. Takes out his own teammate trying to deal with that man. And 4-on-2 with damage onto both of these remaining players. Nickelback already posted in control. He won't be able to stop Iceberg, but Crad will. And Remoy's got no idea at all. Winstrike, that's the miracle round. That's the critical round for them. And actually, neither team has managed to get a grip on this half, so it's going to be down to the pistols, down to the scramble of a force buy for Singularity in the last round of this half.
Well then, I mean, it's not like Singularity are going to be unhappy with 7 rounds either way, but it's just when you had a real serious opportunity to get up towards 9, and now suddenly you're left with very, very little into the final round of the half to try and actually get that lead at the halftime. It is a bit rough. But we'll see what's going to be bought up exactly. They do have a little bit of a pause in, maybe to have a chat and see what way they're going to approach it with those weaker weapons. And I'd like to see just a burst out onto the upper bomb site. We haven't really seen that, I don't think, even. To be fair, against this many nades, it's going to be tough to make happen, but we'll see what the plan is.
I mean, that looks to me like outside smokes go into a late round hit with a couple of mollies and just bomb as many flashes into a site as you can and see what you get, right?
Yeah.
They are going to send a man outside, but the rest will queue up towards that lobby again, trying to put pressure on the B ramp. They get their man down, so Iceberg hoping to draw rotations, hoping to make life awkward. He's in a nice little cubby here. If Elian over-aggresses, doesn't clear his corners diligently, he will go down. Pressure going to be applied. Molotov to force this peek from Nickelback. There's too many targets. He can't find the connection he's after. Damage on a few. Counter aggression comes in, but it's not rewarded. A 3-for-1 trade in favor of Singularity. Rifles scattered across the map, and Elian, what does he do here? He's thinking about going up this vent. If he does, he's going to be met by resistance. Remoy, very unfortunate not to get the headshot here. And Elian's got to start clearing his tracks back out of the site. Manages to get one. This flank is everything. Lackey, no idea at all. The ladder inaccuracy nearly betrays Noten, but it's Elian. 1v3. The back and forth continues. AK in his hands, not his favored AWP. In towards Mini. Pop flashed off it. I mean, how do you even get back into this? He's just going to flood his way through. Remoy will call that he's made that initial aggression. SMF has been dropped a rifle on the site as well. Singularity looking to absolutely lock this one in. Elian will try and clear the angles. It will not come through. 8-7 at the half. It's scrappy. It's messy. But Singularity, if their CT side can start to build a platform, they should have this map in the bag.
Looking very, very possible at this point. But guys, we're going to send it over to a quick break. We'll be back with the second half in just a couple of minutes, so make sure you stick with us. Alright guys, much quicker halftime break than expected, so we're actually just right back into it. The players not wanting any downtime, and that makes sense, especially in the case of Singularity, who are able to end things on a high note. Try and keep that going now into the second half, and let's see what's going to be possible. I think Winstrike, yeah, they need this pistol preferably so that they can get going early on, and I'm liking the aggression we're seeing. Iceberg just charges in through the door, manages to catch them a kill to counteract that mid-control they had lost. And SMF at the moment is being hunted down by two, but he might actually pull them in towards where his teammate is also now on ramp. And never mind, Notan's actually just ran around from behind, so they're absolutely demolishing Winstrike. They've given up the bomb plant on B, but they've got a 5-on-2 with everyone near perfect health at this point. And they do have a kit and a smoke as well.
Winstrike in need of some early picks. Lackey will find the first. Needs to be plenty more where that came from. Bomb down, taken away, but as you said, kit available, smoke goes onto it. They're just going to stick this. They're going to bait the peak straight out. They need to try and stop this defusal. Look at the door being shut. Lackey gets the frag. It doesn't matter. Forrester finds one more. It's all in vain. Defuse is going to come through regardless. Singularity will have that round. And yeah, Winstrike just lacking manpower. They needed more players down on that site by just opening and shutting the door of the CT side. Keep them out of the retake. Keep them from denying the defuse. Of course, with that bomb down, T-sides, their buys can look pretty damn good, and they're looking pretty spectacular here, in all honesty. Lackey will have his hands on a Krieg. AK Galil, Scout. The only player who's really sacrificed is Nickelback, and he's just down on the Deagle Alien. That's the opener you need from your main man, right? In these sort of critical rounds where you haven't necessarily got all the firepower in the world, a big headshot to start things off. Remoy dropped outside, and CT scrambling to make the rotations happen.
Yeah, they do have, I believe, now 2 players looking to actually challenge outside, but the weaponry just isn't really there to take these fights. You see the rifles, obviously, for Winstrike, and, well, a Krieg especially able to take an easy head. Notan may even come out with 3 from this position right now. I don't think he wants to keep on fighting that player up on silo. He's happy at this point to have stolen the bomb away and to have given them back a 3-on-3, and look how much he's delayed. He's gone ahead and allowed for 2 players to actually start flanking. SMF from up above gets the first kill, and you've also got Iceberg on his way around from behind as well. So this is going to be such a difficult recovery on that bomb. I don't think they expect the second player either, and as you can see, that is the case. A dink onto Elian. At this point, they can just kind of, I was going to say, let Winstrike even try and take that bomb. With the health they had available, it would have been incredibly difficult. We did see Notan actually going down there pretty early, but yeah, trade comes back for us. They're left on 70 in health, and I mean, what can he really do? He could potentially run this down through ramp onto B or up through Heaven and drop it onto A, maybe get a bomb plant for a little bit extra money, but winning the after plant is going to be so incredibly difficult.
He needs that plant. He needs to give his teammates something to work with, right? They forced into this round, so we'll get it down. We'll get that extra economy to work with. But as you said, 2 SMGs headed his way. He's got all of 17 HP to work with. If they're diligent, if they clear their angles, this is done. It's an awkward spot for them to clear, but jumping around Iceberg makes the fight so difficult. The frag will come through. The round will be Singularity's double digits, 10-7. That should have been Winstrike's. That was their opportunity to bite back immediately, to start piling the pressure on. Instead, they get caught out by the man in Garage, and well, the defuse is going to be delayed about as long as SMF is comfortable to try and allow one of those extra rifles to be picked up. Indeed, the Krieg will be salvaged. It'll be very useful for the CT side on that outside control, as Winstrike in all likelihood have to go down to the half buy.
Darkwing, never seen that skin either. Getting to see a couple new ones today. I think it's just because a lot of people don't use the Krieg anymore. But yeah. I mean, yeah, as you said, it was such a good start as well. They had the 2-man advantage, I believe. It's Notan who just comes up big then with that double kill. Not even just being the double frag itself, but dropping the bomb deep in Garage. I'm honestly kind of surprised that they even sent the bomb over in that direction if the plan was to move down Secret. Again, though, that is the plan. Winstrike have come in with another force buy since it was a pretty close round. They want to keep this pressure on, but it's risky. Eventually, if it doesn't work, they will have to start taking the ecos, and well, maybe that won't be a concern because they've gone ahead and actually forced Larson back into the vents where he was completely caught between them. Notan with an MP7, it's not really the weapon you want on this angle either, as he takes one and tries to reposition, but he's going to be caught by Lackey, and the bomb goes down. This should be Winstrike's round at this point. Singularity may even want to consider a save if they aren't getting a quick kill to allow them to start moving forward, and it doesn't even look like they want to. Yeah, just clearing out lobby and ensuring they have a path to save these weapons at this point.
Had to make the call. Losing, of course, to the force buys, repetitive force buys. In fact, by the T side, they do manage to get 4 rifles out again. It's just ridiculous. And the problem is that CT economy, such a cruel beast. So keeping at least 3 rifles up with the loss bonus they get, it's not going to be a good look, but they can make something of it, right? They can try and keep the pressure on Winstrike. Of course, their T side economy still yet to be established, still yet to really build itself any kind of foundations in this game. So Iceberg maybe drops the Deagle he's had in his hands for a couple of rounds across to somebody, allows him to pick up armor and utility. And then you're looking to those 3 main men, the Krieg, the AK, and the M4, going to have to be the main contributors. And yeah, there you go. Deagle gets dropped across. Larson surely buys something. Is he going to get dropped the Krieg? No, dropped a Scout. I was about to say, I don't mind it either way, but yeah, he's going to try and recreate the antics of Elian towards outside potentially. And Winstrike, this one has to get over the line. They have to make this one work cleanly and try and start putting pressure. This is, after all, Singularity's map pick, and if you give them opportunities, they're gonna take these kind of games away from you. Notan, that's the perfect start. Lined up through the smoke, and SMF aggressive. Lackey, this is all on the timing, and the smoke fades favorably for the CT man. The worst possible start for Winstrike. 2 men down. And control lost as well. Those rifles working out perfectly. The Deagle doing damage as well.
Notan 1 Deagle. I mean, it makes sense. He's got it in his name. But yeah, that second kill from SMF was huge because they were able to pretty much keep outside control and have the info at that point that Winstrike are all working around lobby, or at least haven't quite moved in towards the full outside control with more than that initial player at this point. But Elian, creeping forward on ramp, he walks into the scout of Larson, actually doesn't even get tagged up. Bit of damage there, at least from Larson, would have been big to ensure the round for them, as well this 3-on-4 could still certainly be pulled back from Winstrike. The only worry is they don't have all that much time. They've only got 34 seconds remaining, so they are being forced to just bring it down towards B. There's not a lot of other consideration that can be put into this. The upper bump side pretty much off limits, and well, it's only Notan down here, but he's tucked in dark, and his hope will be to at least catch 1 player to ensure that his teammates still have the advantage, rather, as it does move towards a retake. Is that molly going to get him? I actually think it might not spread.
It is. This is going to get awkward with how little time they've got left. They can't afford to really clear all their angles. He's going to try and plant inside the smoke. Well denied. Notan traded 1 for 1. Plant will come in, but it's all on Nickelback. He's stuck inside that smoke. It's never going to land. Singularity, they get a force buy of their own. 3-man save, couple of Deagles around it. That's all they need to make the round happen. And they reset their lead to 3. That is the moment Winstrike had to start grasping a hold of this game, right? That was their opportunity to grab it, to put the pressure on Singularity and start to say, we are the best team in Group A. We're going to take this 2-0. Instead, Singularity grasping at the opportunity. The chance is given to them. A couple of big picks to open things up. And, well, Winstrike not able to get it back on their side. They do at least get that bomb down, so the extra finances allow them to force again into this round. Problem is, there's been so much back and forth. They've given this CT side so many opportunities to get into the game that their buy is now sitting very pretty indeed. No noticeable weaknesses as this straight A rush is going to try and come through. Iceberg has his teammate in tow, and it's a shutdown of the hut push. Elian tries to get something done, will at least find one, but the drop down to trade him is in place. And Lackey only has a Deagle to work with. He'll find himself the first pick, salvages an AK-47 and gets out of dodge initially. Wants to reface, though, and that is not going to work out. Singularity have their 12th, just 4 rounds away, and they forced Winstrike into a very awkward situation. Probably looking at the half buy, probably looking at conceding 13, and I'm starting to smell a little bit of train on the cards.
Yeah, looking pretty likely at this point. A lot of people consider 13 an unlucky number, but I don't think that's a worry for Singularity. They'll be feeling good about having such a lead at this point. They've really taken control. I mean, Winstrike fired back with one of those force buys, but that was it. It just ended up leaving them then in a position where they wanted to keep those forces going again. And by the time they actually do take an eco so that they can start getting a real buyout, they're going to be down massively at 13-8. Few kills here would be huge, at least. I mean, that's one thing they've been successful with because of all these buys, is keeping the economy modest for Singularity. But I mean, that eventually that just kind of stops mattering if they're going to get so close to that finish line. Excuse me. But yeah, it's a slower approach. Winstrike have actually got one player across towards Secret, and I don't think they're really aware of that. It's Nickelback who's going to be moving down, so they'll attempt to make this split happen. But Notan, a man who steps up time and time again, especially in these rounds where you expect him to, he seems like he doesn't really get picked off too often by these weaker pistols. He's taking the pretty aggressive angles as well, but just making it work. Good work at this point. That's the bomb down. Won't really matter, they can't hold it, but I mean, they were aware that the play was clearly to try and bring this into ramp at this point.
Just shutting it down. More damage through the smoke onto Forrester. It's a question of what can Nickelback get done, right? How much can he find lurking in and around these halls?
He didn't want to make noise, I don't think. None of the windows broken, none of the doors open. He just couldn't come in and help them out.
And that's meant that he's got to re-rotate. He might catch Larson here, actually. That AWP, misses the first shot. Hairs on the back of your neck, stand up. He will at least find one, though. Forrester now trying to make it out the squeaky door. Not going to happen. 13 seconds left. I think Nickelback knows exactly where he's trying to go. Deep into spawn, and he's going to be hunted. Singularity, they do not want to let him have this AWP. They are going to keep trying to run him down as the clock goes red. He needs to hold on to this now. They're waiting for it to go red. Pop flashes over the top. He gets the frag, and that should buy him enough time. CT's not close enough to find the trade, so he will save the AWP. He will be able to drop that across. They will be able to get the buy Winstrike. It has to start working now, though.
Yeah, it really is their last chance. Lose this, especially without a bomb plant, then it's an eco again, having to come in, you're down 15-8, and then it's a flawless 7 rounds in a row needed on the T side of Nuke, which is not easy to make happen. And it looks like we're going to see Singularity actually pushing up on outside this time, wanting to try and challenge this control a bit more aggressively, and that's the collateral. Doesn't get the kill onto Nickelback, but he rips off the head of Lackey, does some further damage, and I believe he might even be aware of it. Either way, fantastic start into the round once again for Singularity. They've put Winstrike on the back foot, and they've denied the outside control, which was obviously what Winstrike were aiming for. They've decided now to just move this back in towards lobby with most of those players, even flashing the op off at a ramp angle. Oh, Forrester, though. I think he will punish this from Larson. Heard the scope up close, and once the shot is missed, it's just doom for Larson. He had no chance.
The angle's still good for Singularity, though. Remoy and Iceberg there to combine if they do try and take advantage of that pick. Crad will make his way top of Mini. They are looking for this collapse in, and they're going to find it. 2 frags in quick succession. SMF, how does he get a second there? Should have been called, should have been dead to rights. Instead, he's alive and kicking behind the silos. And with Nickelback on just 17 HP, it's Crad who really has to open this one. They've managed to isolate the fights. Players caught on either bomb site. Nickelback going to go down these vents, though, and oh, this timing. They don't think Noten's here. They think they've got everybody trapped. It's all too easy. The frag comes through. Crad into the 1v1. Bomb dropped at the feet of Noten. M4 in hand and only half HP for this AK to work with. Such an awkward angle to clear as well. Crad surely absolutely done for. Nothing he can do. Noten will grab the AWP, and that should be it. Just 2 rounds away now, Singularity, from forcing us to train.
Yeah, I guess you could say they're on track for map number 3.
Why?
I mean, you set it up. You set it up. It's the silly little jokes. They're my forte. But yeah, I mean, they've come back in with a buy here. They don't want to be ecoing for the overtime. And I mean, it makes sense with what they've got. It's not all that bad. They've got 4 AKs of Galil, a few nades behind it. Nothing special in that regard. And well, a little bit of damage there towards Forrester. A little welcome with the up bullet and then even a nade behind it to tag him up to 53. I mean, it's not the worst. We've seen a rougher start in the previous round, obviously, for Winstrike, but it's still not ideal. Nickelback even slightly burning there as they're crossing on outside, and well, the goal is clearly secret, but already we're having rotations coming in from Singularity. They've moved Iceberg down, and I think you might have the ramp player also now in position, being Larson, who's also gone ahead and joined up with him. No, not quite yet, actually. He's still back on ramp for now. Iceberg, though, he has taken the stairs angle from Decon, and is playing an interesting jump peek just to get the info.
I like the idea. See it quite a lot. So difficult to connect the shot. The top of the what do you call it? Top of a doorway. It's got a name, but I can't remember it. It bumps his head down again, gives him a concussion, but means that he's not going to get shot in the face. So he can reset onto these angles. Push is going to come out of decon. He's going to deal with the first man. There's plenty more there, but can't quite find the second connection. Has bought time, though. You can see Notum posted left-hand entrance to the B-bomb site. AUG in hand. Missed shot from Elian, but he's going to find the second bite at it. And as the bomb goes down, certainly a call to be made here for Singularity. Their money is not great. They've got 3 rifles still on the board. Larson still has the AWP in his hands. And I think without an early pick, this is looking very much like it's going to be the save call. Of course, Winstrike can't really afford to overcommit to the hunt either. They really don't have the economy to be throwing rifles at this. So they're almost going to be forced to let it pass them by. It will be a 9th round. Of course, plenty of opportunities still for Singularity to shut this one out. Take us to that 3rd map, and with 3 rifles kept up, they should be able to buy into the next to give them yet another shot at making it happening. Winstrike, yeah, can't give up anything at all. Just going to huddle down in the corner. Bomb will go off. They really need to buff the radius of that explosion, man. They're like 5 feet away. They can still see the thing, and it doesn't do too much damage at all. 9th round on the board, 1 away from double digits from Winstrike, but certainly a long, long way from making this comeback a reality.
Larson's having a rough game. I didn't see quite how bad he was doing. He's 4-17 at the moment, and they're still having such a performance. They're still having such a tremendous performance. To have your upper especially struggling to that degree, it's impressive to see, I've got to say, from Singularity right now. If he could wake up and train alongside everyone else, then I think Winstrike would have a real trouble. But obviously for now, they're hoping to keep the dream alive on Nuke, and well, maybe it's still a possibility. Solid entry from Nickelback in towards ramp. You have a player who's just creeped out door and dropped down the vent now as well, so they know the rotation isn't coming in through this position quite yet. It will instead be ramp where you have the rotations coming down now for Singularity, but smokes and mollies put in place, and yeah, with that now, we should see the bomb plant being found. I don't think a lot can be done about this unless Winstrike just end up taking their time. And, well, that's an interesting spam. Catches the foot, I believe, of Nickelback as he was moving out. It was the low-health player, but look at this lurk that Elian was on. It seemed like they were still very cautious of it, and they end up actually trading damage. But it is, again, in favor of Winstrike.
It's going to force them into this save. Again, Singularity forced to concede these kind of rounds. Iceberg, though, going to still find the punish. Elian, that dink will be transferred. Might be able to pick up the AWP. I think if Nickelback drops it across again, if he takes the hit for about the 10th time on Nuke, he'll be able to get that scoped AWP across and give Elian something to work with. 3 rifles saved is crucial, though. And crucially for Singularity, they save enough to make the next buy happen. Remoy will be able to purchase for himself. Utility will be able to be rebought, but it's starting to get closer, right? You don't want to sell that storyline yet, because all it will take is one big round from Singularity to shut this whole thing down, but there is still a world where Winstrike can do this. You know, we spoke about it on map 1, we spoke about it on Mirage, grinding out these games, taking the awkward ones where it's not quite working for you, and that's exactly what they're trying to do here. Larson posted up on the squeaky door, pop flashed off it initially. Forrester, though, playing with fire, and he's going to get burnt, taken out initially. An easy opening found for Singularity, and a gift to start their account to 15. Outside control going to be given up, though, and Remoy, looking completely the wrong way, will be traded down. So still, Winstrike finding ways to get themselves back into these rounds.
Yeah, never truly down and out, and well, in a pretty good 4-on-4 at this point. Not even moving down through Seeker. I think Larson has a good idea that they're no longer coming in this direction, and well, as they start moving up towards Heaven, it does seem like the A split is going to be the goal. 2 in from main, 2 in from Heaven, and well, they've got to wait for a second for that smoke to fade away, and when they do start pushing in, there is 3 players around this area. The thing is, they've been forced back in towards lobby already. So holding the actual bomb site itself is not really something they're aiming to do. The bomb does go down, and well, yeah, tough retake now in play for Singularity. They're using a lot of those nades even in the early moments, but Larson spots the head of Nickelback. It was the shoulder instead that he gets the shot connected on, but either way, the frags are going in favor of Singularity, and that second flick is nasty. What a round for Larson to step up in. He's gone ahead and brought himself up to 7 frags off of the 4. Not quite double, but not really far off either as he steps up big time and confirms the 15th. It's map point now for Singularity. Winstrike, though, they have money to fight right back into this one, but it needs to be 5 flawless rounds in a row if they want to take this to an overtime.
Has to be perfect, and well, Winstrike have been anything but, right? That round should have been on the board, but Larson just hangs around T-side vent just long enough to get the opening pick. That tempts the CT side into it, in all honesty. And from there, the trade's just a little too good for Winstrike to handle. Every roll of the dice is now their last to try and stop us from going to train, to try and force overtime on the map choice of Singularity. And well, all credit to them, right? We were looking at the stats. We were saying, Winstrike, this should be a 2-0. This should be their shutting down of this final game of the groups, you know, putting themselves in that top seed guaranteed of Group A. Instead, they're being made to work for it, to say the least. And this round difference starts to become critical. Even if they don't manage to take the second map, making it close, making it tight, giving themselves room could be crucial in terms of the seedings. Full buy on the cards. Alien does get his hands on that AWP once more. Boosting up, trying to catch a timing onto a Heaven player. Nobody there, unfortunately, for the CT side. That is a nasty little boost to try and find someone. There's no way a CT player is checking or clearing that. It's a triple boost, in fact. So, costs them some map control. That's always the price you have to pay when you're trying to boost with multiple players, right? You can't afford to be proactive elsewhere on the map. You allow the CT side to set nicely, maybe take aggressions of their own, and having to be conscious of that now. The smokes will start to come through. Close smoke to allow a garage peek, and Remoy is going to be the man under pressure in towards credit card. Hot flashes over the top. They want to take this outside fight, Winstrike, and there is plenty of presence waiting for them. They've actually managed to sneak a couple of players past, and Remoy, he's going to catch his timing. Nickelback, no idea at all. 2 in quick succession. And that may well be the game. Elian trying to drag it back, does find the first. He knows there's another man, but he's got to hold so many angles at once. So many possible positions he could be peeked from. He's got Remoy trapped into this corner, and the flick is good. He's looking to make this happen single-handedly. Larson will be his next threat in towards Heaven. Dragging it back into the 3-on-3, but they're going to try and collapse into A. And that is where absolutely all of this presence is for the CT side. Molotov makes it awkward. Crad has to transfer. Forrester will only find the one. It's awkward. Trades back and forth. And with 10 seconds left, SMF, he's just got to stay alive. 6, they're going to have to try and run him down. 3, he's got to get this frag now, and he'll do it with 1 second left on the clock. Oh my goodness, Elian, you run it awfully close, but it is 11. It is the reset of the CT economy, and it is the chance for Winstrike to start dreaming of OT.
Damn, SMF gave it his all from the bomb site right there, though. Being able to pull back those 2 frags towards the end. But as you said, yeah, Elian with 1 second remaining is able to get the clutch in and keep the dream alive. 4 rounds in a row. We're having an absolutely ruined economy right here for Singularity. They've actually bought up onto quite a few of those players, even by pulling out the Deagles. So they're looking at the double eco. If they don't make this work, it's an eco in the next round. You'll have Winstrike going up to 13. And then it's probably only 1 more real gun round. So this is very doable for Winstrike at this point. There is certainly a storyline to be built up. And, well, Nickelback, he had somehow got down B. I didn't quite catch that one. Apparently, neither did Singularity because they've been completely caught off guard by it. And have gone ahead and lost 2 of their players, including the Opper, which was obviously forced up by Larson. So the big gun's gone. That's going to be given over to Ely and Even. Yeah, this round, I don't think there's anything really to be done anymore for Singularity. As I said, we're on track for potentially only 1 more full gun round here for Singularity. This is incredibly doable right now for Winstrike.
Now we're allowed to start believing. Overtime just 3 rounds away. Full eco on the card, surely, for Singularity at this point. Can't afford to be buying anything. Okay. They pick up some bits and pieces. Noten will go for the Zeus. Fingers crossed for that one. CZ in the hands of Remoy. SMF with the Deagle. Should just be a matter of Winstrike taking advantage of range here, though. Already heading fast towards that outside control. Nice pot flash, but they're not capitalizing, at least not initially. Iceberg will get one. They're trying to hunt their men down and actually hand delivering an AK for a split second. Winstrike, though, mop up the remainder. And at this point, economy is of no consequence. Every round has to be perfect for Winstrike. They've got the money to go to the end of the half if they need to. They will be buying fully into every remaining round. And this is it for Singularity. Even with a 3-round loss bonus, this is that final roll of the dice to try and prevent the OT, to try and prevent the comeback from Winstrike, and build yourselves an opportunity on train. It has to happen now. Awkward movement initially, and Larson, that's the pick. One of the slowest players on this Singularity roster, and he's taken Forrester out of the equation immediately. Winstrike looking to up the pace off the back of it, but the frags are good, and that's bombed down. Hand-delivered, gift-wrapped towards the silos on A, and Elian and Lackey, they've got to try and pick up the pieces in this 4-on-2. Pop flash for Iceberg. His position given away, but it doesn't matter. Singularity just on another level. Elian will trade the initial frag, but he's 1v3. Swaps the AWP out for the AK-47, trying to clear his corners, trying to do all he can. He's got time on the clock, but look at the flanks. They're starting to pincer in on him. Noten is set up. Just a matter of timings. He has got to be so clean with these shots. There is no room for error anymore. SMF on the other side of this peak. Going to be the first man he faces. Shoulder goes out, hits that headshot. And now there's just AWPs remaining on the server. If he can catch some timings, maybe this is viable. Both AWPs actually behind him as well. He's going to make his way back through. Noten has to hit this shot, and he'll do it. It is going to be the third map required. They run it all the way back, but it will be the map pick of Singularity going their way. It is going to take Train to separate these two rosters. And man, oh man, have we got a game on our hands.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, I don't know what way map number 3 is going to go. I just don't want to make a prediction after what we just seen here from Singularity. Again, with Larson really struggling as well. So I would very much hope their upper is going to be able to show up on train now. But it's just impressive that they're able to get that win with Larson, who's a player that we expect to be one of those fragging for them. And they're still able to make up for it elsewhere with everyone else stepping up. So a very impressive showing. And as you said, we're not getting the game that we thought we were going to be getting. We expected Winstrike to come through with that 2-0, confirm their first seed, but no, we're going on towards Train now. A third map is needed. And again, it could really go either way.
It really does feel like it, right? This is a complete coin toss going into Train. It's a map that plays probably as close to Nuke as any other map in the pool. So I think Singularity really have the advantage in terms of momentum coming in. It is going to be momentum, isn't it? It's going to be whichever team can build their half first, whichever team can just stop the other in their tracks. But we're going to have to wait a little while longer to find that one out, ladies and gentlemen. Train will be our third map after the break.